so very hope that we go live on the right channel. Yeah, okay, cool. We're what the kids call Gucci. All right. Basically, here's how the show is going to work. We're going to introduce the show and say, you know, what's going on in this episode. I'm going to kick it to you for, hey, welcome to the show. How are you? And you're basically going to say something really short like,
It's
hello,
good to be
hi.
here. Thanks
Yeah,
for having me.
something like that. I'm going to kick it to Turarts, find out what she's been into. I'm going to talk for like a minute, and then we're going to kick it to you, and that's when the actual interview portion is going to start. So at the very beginning, we're going to keep it short, and then we're really going to dive into it. After we're finished with the interview, we're going to get to, you know, how can we find you on the internet? Where can people track you down? Thanks very much for coming on the show. At that point, if you would be so kind as to hang up on us, because the only way that I can actually remove you from the call is to remove you from the group, which is an interesting thing about Discord. In fact, let me try it right now. Profile, focus this person, invite to server, add or block. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I can't remove you from the group because I didn't start this group. Sal started this group.
Oh. Well, yeah, I can leave it.
Okay, yeah.
I think I could leave. No,
all you would need to do is hit the leave call button.
Oh yeah,
at the bottom.
I can leave group too. I see where to do that.
Right, but you don't need. If you leave the group, like you'll leave the you'll remove yourself from the DM and everything. So all you would do is just hit the leave call button, big red button. At that point, we're going to bring on Ash. We're going to do the raid report, and we'll get out.
All right.
Okay. That's going to be pretty easy, though. I think to bang all that out. I don't know that any tweeting has been done, so let's do some tweeting here.
Well, say hopefully it's not too awkward because I don't have. I'm one of those old guys, I guess, where internet's a scary place. I don't have any Twitter or anything. The most I have is Facebook. I just use that to look at memes and crap.
I've got my Twitter. I've got the show's Twitter, and I've got the guild's Twitter. So I got all the Twitters. Pat was foolish enough to give me the username and password for the login information for the guild Twitter, because I was like, yeah, I'll post a bunch of stuff about the CTR mini meetups at BlizzCon, and I've got all these graphics I can put up. It'll be great. He's like, yeah, sure, you can take the info. And I was like, ha, you foolish fool.
That fool.
I ended up just, you know, sharing.
Give away the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah, I ended up only just sharing like photos and, hey, we're gonna meet up at this place today and that sort of thing. I was good about it, but I could have been so not good about
it. The temptation.
What is it today? Is today day number 141? Is now live with, spell your name right, O-R-S-I. No. Boom. Boom. Nailed it.
Yeah, see over there. I just brought it up on Twitch.
Yeah, there we are.
That's spelled right. Oh, this way I have Sal's smiling face.
Yeah.
Still. I did think about making a joke about man, Belsh, you look so much different. Because last time I was on here, it's been 5 years, 1 month, and 1 day.
Ooh, keep that number in mind, because we'll ask you about that. For sure. Hey, Bear, what's going on, Sclavier? What's going on, guys? How you doing today? T, I'm going to have to ask you for makeup tips, because I've got this like thing going on under my eye that I want to disguise. It's the show, and like I'm ugly. What do I do?
Like cover up. or just do what I do. I'm putting Carmex on everything because I have raw red.
Wait, where's my? Oh, my chapstick is missing. I'm so sad now. Probably
Yeah,
upstairs.
I don't know what I do without chapstick. Like that's like here's a sugar scrub. And there's a Carmex, and I just chapstick out.
Did you turn up your? Did you turn down your sensitivity or something? Because sometimes Discord has been cutting off the last word or so.
I bet it's because I'm hitting the button too, like I'm hitting because I do push to talk with the dogs and the kid and stuff.
Oh,
so I bet I'm just letting go of the button too early.
Okay, cool.
Was that better? Did you hear all of the word early?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just have to get better at that. Like I'm sure I could figure out the actual because I had the stand mic for a while and did the voice active, but we do it so close to Miles's bedtime that he runs in here sometimes, and it's just easier with push to talk.
Yeah. With the empty house, it's like super easy to just go voice activated.
See, I get so nervous streaming sometimes. Like I love streaming on Monday mornings because there's no one in the house. But what if it's evening? I'm just like, all right, which animal's gonna be a dick, or when's the kid gonna wake up and run in here?
Yep. Well, I don't like it when you stream on Monday mornings because I am not present and cannot watch.
I haven't streamed for a couple weeks, but my boss suddenly decided to retire. And then I have 2 applications in for promotions. And so I've been doing all like the pre stuff. And so when I get home, I'm like, all right, I have to write this essay about why I'm a good candidate. So I haven't this week is my plan is to get back onto streaming. But real life just hit hard. And Thanksgiving, that was in there somewhere.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
I like when you stream on Sundays. Miles and I will watch you occasionally while he goes to bed. You're not that bad. Like I say worse things, so
I'm a cuss wordy man. I don't know. Have you guys seen me play Mario Kart? That's a cuss fest. That's a dirty word festival right there.
He's asleep, so I can say this. He got a Switch a couple months ago. Just he's having some hard times at school and stuff, so he worked hard and got a Switch. So for Christmas, we went between getting Mario Kart and getting Smash Brothers. And I'm like, well, I think I'm gonna cuss less during Smash Brothers than Mario Kart, so we should probably go with that one. But I think Grandma and Grandpa got a Mario Kart, so
sweet.
We'll see how that goes.
I will be getting Smash. Problem is, there is a hard and fast rule in my family where nobody is permitted to buy anything for themselves other than like necessities. Like you're allowed to go to the store and buy underwear and groceries. But you can't buy fun things that you're happy about for yourself between Thanksgiving and Christmas. That is the off-limits time of the year, just in case. Yeah. Oh, we've been burnt before. Check out this great game I just bought on in Smash's case, December 7th. And then my parents are like, that's great. We're so happy that you have a job and you're making money. God damn that freaking kid. He got the thing I want. He got the thing I got him. And then they make that face, and that's how I know I've upset them. They do that. It's really rough. It's bad.
My mom's like, hey, do you have a Fitbit? I was like, no. She's like, all right, don't buy one. I'm like, I had no plans on buying one. Like, I'm excited to be getting one, but I wouldn't buy it myself. Like, that's not something I would do.
I'd be okay with that flavor of gift giving, because, I mean, I'm a grown man. I have responsibilities about video games, and I need to make purchases. And knowing what it is that I can purchase is just good.
My mom asked me, she's like, is there any stream stuff I can get you? And they have a limit, like it's a decent limit. But I was like, well, things that I need are like a graphics card, and that's over the limit that you have. So let's go with other stuff. I'm glad you're trying to help, Mom. I am.
The GPUs are getting kind of bad these days.
I'm sorry?
The GPUs, the video cards.
Yeah.
They last I checked, they were, at least for the 1080s, are still pretty high up there.
I'm rocking a 650.
Oh.
So it runs on tiers. And I told someone that, and they're like, how do you stream? I was like, I don't know. I press a button and it works. And that's all.
They're tears of love.
Well, yeah, if you're burdened with an overabundance of money, you can definitely fix that problem by looking into video cards for sure. The other thing you could ask for is like one of them fancy $400 microphones. That'd
Yeah, no, I was debating. I want to get a ring light, although I think my lighting is better. It's like if you look at the progression of the podcast, it's better than what it was.
you definitely have a more even lighting. Yes, I will agree.
Yeah. I was like, a ring light would solve a lot of problems. But I was like, no, let's not worry about stream stuff. Like, you decide what you want to get me. And then she's like, hey, do you have a Fitbit? I was like, all right, that's what you decided. I don't know how I feel about it, but we'll go with it.
I typed in chat because I didn't want to interrupt you. But no, Sal will not be here tonight.
She is. Is she somewhere warm? I don't know. Like, I know where she is. I don't know if it's warm or cold.
She's in Malta or Malaysia or Madagascar or she's in a country that begins with the letter M. Of that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's in the Mediterranean, so I'm going to go with it's probably warmer than what we're experiencing in the Midwest and the Northeast.
Yeah, you guys got slammed this week. You guys doing all right out there?
Yeah, well, love Iowa. So we got 8 inches of snow, and then we had tornado warnings.
8 inches of snow.
What? So there's no snow on the ground now because the thunderstorms that came in had like 40-mile-per-hour winds. Everything blew off and was fine. So last week we were buried. This week we're rainy and.
T, are you using the same mic you were using the last time you were on the show?
Yes, I am. Does it sound bad?
It sounds different.
I have no ideas. It could be because I'm sick, so I might sound different. I know I am nasally, and I'm not quite husky T like I was that one time, but it's getting there.
That's a lot going on, especially this time of year. I've been dealing with tonsil and sinus stuff for the past several weeks now. Yeah.
I'm drinking out of Barf's favorite mug tonight too.
That's such a good mug, man. Mine's okay too.
Oh, I like that one. I would want that one. That's pretty awesome.
My mug is just an Aquafina bottle.
Water is super important, although I am rocking the orange chamomile honey tea.
I'm one of those people. I really don't like water by itself. I gotta have some kind of flavor. I've lucked out, and these well, no sponsor or anything, but these True Lemon little flavor packets, I found are pretty good for putting in the bottle of water. I've been having to drink a lot of water because of my diet and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, water's, man, I'm telling you. You guys ever drink water? Water's amazing. I like ice flavored water. That's my favorite. I like it with ice. In fact, I need to get more. You guys chitter chatter. I'm gonna fill my silver mug.
I think once he gets back, we'll get rocking. Have you been on the show before?
Yes.
Okay. Has it been a bit? I don't feel like you and I have been on the show. I feel like this was when I was.
I was. It was 5 years ago, back when it was just Sal and Belsnickel.
Oh man, long time ago.
Yes, it's been a very long time.
Long time ago. All right, so we've changed things up a little bit, as you can tell. We have you on in the beginning. Barb's going to do a welcome to the blah, blah, blah. We're going to do a quick, and with us tonight is so-and-so, and just do a quick hi, because we'll get to later more about how you are. So that's just like your quick, hey, guys. And then we'll keep talking, and then we'll come back.
we went over that.
Well, you see, you and I, Barf, went over it while she was gone. Then when you left, it's just, we had to go over it while you were gone.
Were
it's a
both
tradition
the
now.
same explanation?
Pretty much,
because if she throws you a curveball, that's her fault.
Did you tell him not to talk during the intro?
No, I didn't. Shoot.
Ah.
I messed it up. I messed it up so expertly. I did.
I've watched a couple enough of the little videos on YouTube and stuff for the Converter podcast to know that I'm not supposed to talk during that.
Well, so some shows have it set up where like the audience only hears the things that the broadcaster decides that they want to hear. I could if I was really clicky quick, I could set it up so that I can play the intro and mute you guys and myself. But man, that requires clicking 3 things instead of clicking 1 thing, and I'm not about that life.
That's the difference between playing an arcane mage and playing a fire mage. 1 to 3 buttons.
I play a holy paladin and a resto shaman, so like whatever kind of arcane nonsense y'all mages are talking about over there. Says the guy with what, 12 priests? Anyway, who's ready to kick this thing off? We have audience members.
Let's do this.
This is great. We have a show running.
I'm gonna hop in game real quick and do a spam because I don't think.
Oh yeah, go for it. We'll wait another couple of minutes. I'm trying to think of one more thing to say to fill the time between after the spam to get the people in here.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Did you see that Nintendo lifted their thing about being able to create content? I thought you would find that interesting, Barf.
Yeah, I did see that.
Wow, that is surprising.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, the short version of that is there was a lot of Nintendo content on places like YouTube that Nintendo was taking a big chunk of the monetization, if not all of the monetization, because they're very careful with their properties. But now I guess you can, because I've never had a problem doing things on Twitch with Mario stuff. Like that's never come up. It's only ever been on YouTube. And every Mario thing I've uploaded to YouTube has had, except for the really, really obscure stuff, has had copyright dings where it's like, you're not in trouble, but you're not getting money on this. Like, so I guess that's great if you're using not Twitch for your video distribution Nintendo-y things.
I think they were looser on Twitch. Like if you were obviously obscene or like obviously like a huge dick and they didn't want you. I heard there were a couple channels that got pinged on Twitch, but otherwise it was mainly YouTube that they were just cracking down on. And then they dropped that announcement of like, hey, you can do it. We can still come in and like say no, but go forth and prosper.
But like a lot of it was automatic. Like I would upload a video and minutes later I would have a thing on my copyright tab that said, we noticed that there is, like it would find a song or it would find a sound clip or something and it would be like, nope, that's Mario Sunshine, that's ours. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. There's no Bowsette fan club meetings on Twitch. Yeah, go for it. Do whatever you want. Draven, have a Bowsette fan club meeting. That's fine. Draven, do a Bowsette body paint.
Do it.
Do it. You won't. The chrome-plated mushrooms on this guy. All right, let's start the show. It's been long enough. We are... Oh, you know what? Here, let me even add a marker so that when the editor gets back from work vacation, she can know when the stream started. Go start. Okay. We are going to go live in 5, 4, 3, 2...
You're listening to the Converted Podcast, the podcast about the Guild Convert to Raid on Airy Peak, US.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 141 of the Converted Podcast, the World of Warcraft podcast all about the Convert to Raid Guild on Airy Peak, US. Today is December 3rd, 2018. It's just about 6:08 p.m. Airy Peak local time. Thank you very much for joining us. Turarts, what's going on this week?
Well, in this episode, we have Exorcistuno of CTR Team 9 to Midnight. your converted shoutouts, CTR Guild happenings, including a raid report, and Sal's fled the country.
Yes, that's right. Sal has fled the country. I am Barfolomew the Paladin, and with us tonight is Excorsistuno of the long-standing raid team, 9 to Midnight. First of all, welcome to the show. Secondly, did I get it right?
Yes, you got it right. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's good to be here again.
Absolutely welcome to have you here. Happy to have you here and welcome. That's a set of words. As always, the wonderful Turarts is going to be joining us tonight. Turarts, what have you been up to the last couple of weeks?
Well, we had Thanksgiving, and that was great. Lots of food, lots of fun stuff there. I finally got my Pathfinder 1 taken care of. I know I'm totally behind the times there,
Nice.
but it's done. The Tortolin was the one that was Tortolin. That reputation was just lazy. I was so lazy with it, but got that up finally. And then just grinding out the pets and stuff for the CTR anniversary. Guys, I can tell you, we have some amazing prizes. I'm talking vials of stand. I'm talking the jeweled panthers. We have all kinds of pets that I want that I don't have. So I'm very excited for this anniversary event. And besides that, just been, doing life, getting ready for Christmas. It's hard to believe that we only have one more show, and then it's the end of the year for us.
Holy smokes, yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chat room, well, before we kick it over to Barf, make sure you send us your shout outs. You can get them in on Twitter or you can pop them in the chat. But Barf, I'm kind of concerned. Where's Sal?
Where's Sal? She is on some kind of business trip or vacation or fugitive situation where she left the country. She's in some small European country somewhere. The last I heard, she was on Twitter shoving car keys into electrical sockets. She's left us alone with no one to tell us what to do, which basically means we get to make our own rules. I say we revolt. I think we should take over the show. We'll change the passwords. She'll never know what the new password is. It'll be hilarious.
Yeah. Does she even know what the current one is?
Maybe. I don't know. She might not.
We should.
She doesn't anymore, that's for sure.
I say we're game. She's been on the show long enough. It is now the Barf and Tea show. Done. You heard it here first. Well, Barf, how about you tell us
Barf and Tea!
Woo! I love it. It works too. It works. I think, though, we should get to how you've been doing the past. It's actually been 3 weeks since we last did this show, which is crazy because we took that Thanksgiving.
Yeah, speaking of Thanksgiving, I had several partial Thanksgivings. The day of Thanksgiving, I had a small lunch with my parents, which was fantastic. Thanksgiving was rescheduled for Saturday because my mom had family coming in. We're going to do like a larger Thanksgiving thing. We'll do it on like Saturday. Everybody will come in, be nice, have dinner. It'll be rad. Then, like a third of the people who would have showed up were sick. Another third of the people who would have shown up were recently sick and recovering. And the last group of people who would have shown up were elderly. And we're like, we're not getting sick. What are you, out of your mind? It could kill us. And then also my mom was sick. So Thanksgiving dinner was me and my parents again, which was fantastic. We boiled a turkey or whatever it is my dad does in the backyard with the pot of stuff. I'll tell you what, you know what's great? I'm going to tell you right now. Deep fried Brussels sprouts. Those things are my jam. They're my jamski jam. I love them to death. Been playing some Heroes of the Storm as well, and accidentally stumbled into a bundle. I didn't realize that there was like this. They had a bundle for sale for like 30 heroes or some nonsense, but I already had most of them. So it ended up being. I was considering buying Deckard. I hadn't played Deckard yet. I was like, you know what? I need to expand my roster a little bit. I'm kind of interested in Deckard. What's he cost? 10,000 gold. All right, cool. But he's also part of a bundle. I click into that, and there's like this huge bundle of like a bazillion heroes. I have most of them, so they discounted the price down so low that I spent like $10 on gems and got like 8 heroes. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, like I got a stack of new heroes to play, man. I got Whitemane now. I've got Deckard like I was looking for. I think Blaze was in that pack. Hanzo might have been in it. I don't actually remember for sure. I know Malthael was in it. I've been meaning to try him. I got the Lost Vikings. A lot of these heroes are 10,000 gold heroes, or a couple bucks in gems, and you just get a stack of heroes. So I've been like trying to figure out like how to play heroes again because there's all these new characters I've never played. That's been a lot of what I've been doing, actually. A lot of what I've been doing. I also hollowed out a mountain in Minecraft, but that's not a Blizzard thing. I went into the game and I found a mountain and I made it hollow on the inside. That was a lot of fun. However,
That's what when I play Minecraft I do. I just get and try and get to the bottom.
yeah, you just empty out the planet and you just put it all in boxes and then you're done. It's fine. It's great.
Yep.
Yep.
We're not here to talk about not Blizzard games, and we're not here to talk about not Blizzard stuff. Tonight, we have Sal, I know you're listening to this. Stop writing parentheses name of guest in the thing. We've got Excorsistuno with us tonight. First of all, from Team 9 to Midnight, thank you so much for joining us, buddy. Have you been on the show before? Because I know your team definitely has.
Yes, I was on here. Today is 5 years, 1 month, and 1 day since the last time I was on here.
Well, that's great.
So
That aligns neatly into our rule of we can't have a guest on more frequently than 5 years and 1 month. So that extra 1 day, you got right past. It's like, the bouncer let you in, man. So you're good.
Yep, just snuck in past that deadline.
Well, it's definitely been a bit since you've been on, and a lot has changed. 2 new guest hosts. We're not guest hosts, we're co-host. So tell us a little bit more about you for our.
I'm sorry, you
Okay.
cut out there.
Yeah. Was that a redo?
Oh no, we don't have to redo that. I just messed it up. We can redo that. All right, put a marker. We'll redo this. All right. Well, it's definitely been a bit since you've been on. Things have definitely changed on this show. Why don't you tell our chat room a little bit more about yourself?
Well, at least since the last time I was on here, I'm doing pretty good. At least over the last year has been the biggest change for me personally. The big thing, just gonna get out of the way. Last October, so October 2017, my father was diagnosed with stage 3 esophageal cancer. And since then, in February, I do believe it metastasized, and it's in his bone, in his right arm, and then it spread again. It's there was an egg-sized tumor in his left bicep, and he's getting along. He's doing the chemo treatments. He's done the radiation treatments. He's just responded really well to them all. But between that and my job, I'm not really having a whole lot of free time to do much of anything anymore. Not that I'm complaining, I'm more than happy to help my father out when I can and as needed. My brother, he has a son now, so I'm an uncle. Yay. My nephew is 1 year and oh crap, I think 2 months old.
Oh, he's getting to the fun age.
Yep, he's starting to say a couple words. They are upset that he knows how to say no. So it seems to be a pretty common thing for young children to learn early on. Other than that, yeah, doing pretty good as far, well, relatively speaking. Aside from the obvious thing, I'm doing fairly well. I've been going to the gym. I've lost 50 pounds in 6 months.
That's
That is
tremendous.
great.
That's a lot. That's so good.
I went from 270. I'm down to 220 now. I'm feeling pretty good.
Man, a lot. That's so impressive. Good for you, man. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about like in game? Who are you in game? How long have you been playing WoW? How long have you been in CTR?
I have been playing since vanilla, not since it first came out, but probably I think 06, so a couple years after the game came out. My brother and I started playing around the same time. There was some, sibling rivalry with it. He wanted to play on the Alliance, and so me wanting to be contrary against my brother, I picked to be on the Horde. And I was a orc warrior at the time, and I I guess I just happened to pick the perfect class and spec. Everyone wanted a prot warrior back then, so I got to do a little bit of raiding in Molten Core. Got to see Nax once, but didn't even. We pulled trash in there, and that was it. But I had an absolute blast with it.
That still puts you more progressed than like 98% of players at the time. Like
Yeah.
Getting in the door means you were cream of the crop.
Yeah. I got to skip a lot of having to farm all the nature resistance for Encourage and crap like that. By then I got carried a little bit. I got some decent drops and stuff, and I was able, and the guild I was with back then took me into a Nax, doing the trash and stuff. But that guild split going into Burning Crusade because it went from 40 man to 25 man rating, and I was with a different guild back then. I think Eternal Asylum was their name. I don't remember what the guild name was in vanilla, but went through Burning Crusade, did all the DKP, the cutting edge, top rating and all that stuff. And went into Wrath. But about that time, I was getting fed up with DKP, as I'm sure most everybody gets tired of it, especially in what was the final straw for me was when they stopped, and that's one of the problems with DKP is you can only roll on gear and win gear if you have enough points. But then you want to take your best people because you're your most geared people. That way you can actually progress. So it was kind of just a snowball effect. I stopped going on the runs because they wouldn't invite me anymore. So I wasn't getting DKP because I wasn't killing bosses with them. So when I did ever get to go on a run, I didn't have the points to spend on the gear. And I got fed up with it. And by that point, my brother and his team on Alliance, this was back on Greymane, server Greymane, they were without a raid leader. And I transferred, well, I didn't transfer yet. I had a priest on the Alliance that I made, just to see both sides of the coin. And that priest, since I wasn't able to raid on my warrior on Horde, I got with a group about midway through Ulduar. I started actively gearing my priest, and for Trial of Crusader, I got with a group, a 25-man group, and did some tribute runs or chest runs for it, and in ICC, I finally, they were a 25-man heroic team, and having that kind of mentality, I ended up being the priest officer, healing officer for them. And as soon as they got Lich King down, they're like, "Oh, we're done. We're gonna take a break." And I'm like, "I still want to raid. I don't know about you guys. What am I gonna do?" And that's when my brother, his group, his guild was the Gorthorians, and they didn't have a raid leader. And my brother was begging me. It's like, "Hey, all these fights, you've been through all this stuff. Why don't you come help out?" I'm like, "Well, I haven't done anything like that, but sure. I mean, it sounds easy enough." And they were a 10-man group. So I went over and we progressed through the whole raid. It was a lot of fun. And it's been a big learning experience. Or it was a big learning experience going from that heroic, cutting edge, elite mindset to a more casual, relaxed, laid back, just playing to have fun mindset. And it's one that, as I've gotten older, is one that I vastly prefer over. Yeah, don't get me wrong. If I could get into a mythic raid, I'll be more than happy to, but I don't actively seek it out anymore. And at least for 9 to midnight, it's one of the things that's come up, especially now that finally 100 Alliance guilds have killed Gahoon on Mythic, where we can do cross-realm Mythic, because several of our people are cross-realm. So we flat out, we weren't able to do any Mythic raiding. But even now, it's only an option if we have exactly 20 people, because we have 30 people on the team. So it's only, I'm not going to bench anybody. I'm not going to tell anybody, no, you're not, because if I do, I'll be the first one to step out, because it's not fair to bench somebody else just because we want to kill something that's 20 man only. But yeah, we're laid back. We're like to have fun and all that. But moving to Airy Peak all those years ago, Greymane was a dying server, and hearing about CTR and what y'all doing over here there was a lot of hope. There was some skepticism at first, but once we made the move and once we got here and met people and interacted with everybody, it was like, this is the real deal. It's been an amazing 5 years, or 6 years actually. It's just 5 years since I've been on the podcast. But yeah, it's been one fun ride.
So was that like the core group of 9 to Midnight that was formed off server and then came to convert to raid, or like how did the actual formation of the team as it stands start off? Like when did that all start?
At the start, we brought over, I think 6 or 7 people made the transfer over. And this was before Flex rating came out, before Cross Realm rating.
Mm-hmm.
So only a handful of people, well, most of the team, because it was a 10-man group, but only 6 or 7 people made the transfer over. We lost both tanks. We lost a healer, I think, and a couple of DPS. But it was myself, a good friend, Night Swine, and Mike, or Werlock, if anyone sees him in guild or anything. We were the big 3 that sat in guild, sat in the LFG, and recruited and recruited and recruited. And finally, this was Throne of Thunder, I believe. Or it was still Mogushan Vaults, I believe. But yeah, we finally got a group together. We started running consistently, and over the years, it's been sad to see a few people go from the original group, but things change. People go their separate ways. Right now, it's just myself and one other from the original group, Scruffy. He's
The janitor.
That's right, the janitor. His main right now, it's Cromrax. He's our Windwalker monk. But when he first joined the team, he was on his rogue, which was named Scruffy. And just from that point on, he has always been Scruffy, and he will always be Scruffy in our eyes.
Scruffy's gonna die the way he lived. So it sounds like your team is made up of a mix of people who were like really pushing that cutting edge stuff, and also people who were looking for the more laid back experience. It actually reminds me a lot of the Rubber Chicken Coalition, because it's very similar team dynamic. I'm curious to know where you guys are in your progression right now.
Right now, actually, last week we got Heroic Mithrax down.
Nice.
And we spent a couple hours doing Heroic Gahoon progression. We were consistently getting them to phase 2, but we hit a wall trying to get that 3rd matrix deposited in phase 2. And nobody likes doing progression on the same boss for 3 hours straight. So we called it early, saved my lockout, so we're going to go back to it this week.
Well, we know your team is a great mix of mythic and learning, and it sounds like an awesome group of people. But I gotta ask, you have to have some stories being a team that's as old as you guys are.
Yeah, there's been a lot over the years. Um, a lot of the fond memories are from the original group and from Greymane. There's been quite a few over here as well. Um, geez, uh, I remember having so much fun in Siege of Or. Granted, it took that was such a long raid tier at the end of Pandaria. I remember every single AOTC that we get is just such an adrenaline filled moment. Um, the it just it's so hard to try and think of one moment because it's just been such a blast the entire time with everybody.
What would you say is, all right, I'll ask two questions. We'll try and get some stories. Favorite boss that you guys have done and least favorite boss you guys have done.
The favorite boss that we've done. The least favorite is without a doubt heroic kill Jaden in Tomb of Sargeras. That is beyond any shadow of a doubt. The favorite boss, it would probably between either Garrosh back in Siege of Orgrimmar or Archimon, maybe. Because we really liked doing Archimon in WAD because it was one of the first times where we were in a position to actively do mount runs for people. We really liked helping the guild out and like bring in people to carry them through the fight to let them get their moose mounts.
I remember when you guys were doing that. That was really rad. I think
Yeah.
I can't remember if I got my moose through you guys or not. I definitely got mine on one of them friendship runs though.
That's cool.
I owe somebody in this guild that sparkle moose.
there were a couple teams at the time doing it and it was really cool.
Well, I hear a rumor that you have a slogan.
A slogan that would probably refer to the team name. It's 9 to midnight. It's who we are and it's when we run.
I love it. Simple, easy.
It kind of reminds
It
me of
makes
Tommy
sense.
Boy. When Dan Aykroyd says, because that's what I am and that's who I care about. Like it's got that same cadence to it. So is your team recruiting at the moment?
Yes and no. Right now, like I said, we do have 30 people listed on the roster. However, not all of them can show up to every run. We're always looking for people that are willing to run on any night. At least at the start of this tier, we had 30 people, like 25, 30 people every week, every night, every week. Right now, we're averaging between 18 and 25 people, especially on Thursdays. Friday nights is a lot more open. We tend to have more attendance on Thursday nights than Fridays. So if you raid Friday nights and you're looking for a team, we're happy to have you along. We have, we have our 2 tanks. We have the healers. If you melee, range, DPS, even still, like we have people that are more than willing to switch either heal or DPS or switch around alts and stuff like that.
All right. Well, we have to ask because we're still really close. Did you go to BlizzCon?
No, I've never been to BlizzCon. It's one thing that is on my bucket list. I really want to go.
Well,
And
you're part of the team Stay Home, which I am like captain of, and it's a great team. It's true. There's a lot of us. Okay. Well, what thoughts did you have on BlizzCon?
As far as World of Warcraft goes, I'm I'm content with the way it's going. I'm really excited. One thing I've always been really into the lore of this game, the history behind it and everything. That's one thing that got me into Warcraft to begin with. I've been playing this franchise since Warcraft 2. I love it to death. StarCraft, I'm happy. I mean, there's only so much they can do with a game that's a pay and you have it forever. Not like a subscription game like Warcraft is, or free to play game like Hearthstone or Heroes of the Storm is. Me personally, I have Hearthstone and I have Heroes of the Storm. I've played them a little bit, but I'm not really into them, so I don't really have much comments on those. Overwatch, I don't remember anything about Overwatch. I don't have it. I'm not a first person player. Really, I'm more of a strategy game guy. Diablo 3 or Diablo, that was the big scandal, I think, from BlizzCon is the was it Immortal?
Yes.
I think. Yeah. That I feel so bad for the Diablo fan base, but at the same time, I really hope that they get a lot of love, or at least Blizzard takes their reaction to how they feel about that kind of announcement. It's like, is this it? You know, I hope Blizzard takes that and really throws some love that way, because Diablo, I never got to play Diablo 1 or 2, but I had friends that played it, and I heard nothing but good times and fun about them. And I have Diablo 3. I've played Diablo 3 a lot. I like the game, and it would be really nice to see it go only but up.
Having actually played Immortal, because they did have it as a demo on the show floor, I will say it seems pretty promising. I know people are nervous about things like microtransactions because we're used to how the mobile scene usually looks in America. I can't really speak to that because they didn't have any of that available or up for discussion, but the game itself is solid. It was fun. So if I mean, my phone is a potato, but I do need a new phone. And if I were to acquire a new phone, I'm telling you right now, that game's going to be on it.
That's right. If GLaDOS
For
can
sure.
work on a potato, I'm sure Immortal will.
You know what? If GLaDOS can operate via potato, so can a video game. You are 100% correct. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Before we kick you out of here, I'm wondering if you have any shout-outs for us.
Oh. Yeah, well, I personally would like to give a big shout out to Threat Level Midnight. That's the first team that we encountered when we made the move over to Airy Peak. They are a bunch of awesome people over there. Taman, especially, it might be biased. I love Taman to death. He's an awesome dude.
Yeah, we like Taman around these parts.
Yeah. Rafisk or Blue Moon, y'all had him 2 months ago, and his group, the Insomnia Saints, I believe they are. And I do have a couple shout outs from specific raid people, if I may, not from some of the 9 to Midnighters. Demetrius, who is one of our healers, he wants to buff Holy Paladins. Sister, which is one of our tanks, he wants to make it a point that we're progressing in heroic Uldir. I think I've been calling it Ulduar this whole time. Heroic Uldir with a warrior tank, despite what Method says about the status of tanks and warrior tanks. Caprica are really one of the cooler people on the team. He wants to say that the cake is not a lie. Majind, who is still with us after all this time, he's one of the raiders on threat level midnight. He wants to shout out, and I would like to congratulate them as well on their AOTC last week.
That's
So,
awesome. ATC.
and also I have to, for the team, hashtag Scrumpy. That is
What is that? One of
That
your team's
is-
inside jokes?
that is definitely one of our inside jokes.
Don't come in here and tease us. You got to bring us all the way. What's the inside joke? Share with us the
So-
story.
So when we're starting normal Gahoon progression, it was rough, people learning the fight, especially the Matrix groups. We have 2 monks. Now, normally I put 2 DPS and a healer going up with every Matrix group. But monks, with the chi torpedo and whatever else they have, I felt confident that I could put our Mistweaver monk, Grumpy Bugger, and our Windwalker monk, Scruffy, together to do a Matrix by themselves. Well, the joke started out as Group 3 is best group because they were always the 3rd Matrix group. But one night, when I was referring to Group 3, for some reason, I got the names mixed up, and I said Scrumpy as a combination of Scruffy and Grumpy. And from that point on, it's been nothing but Scrumpy for president, Scrumpy life. All that. It's been really fun.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Well, you know the tradition on here, and I'm not going to let you off the hook. You've named a couple of them, but go ahead, start from the beginning, name everyone that is currently on your roster.
Oh man. All right, 30 people. Here we go. So we've got Brew Pig. Call him War Pig because he used to main his Death Knight, which is War Pig, but now he's Brew Pig, which is Brewmaster. Sister, Warrior Tank. We've got Hashi, Melaneska, and Fumika, which are priests. Demetrius, which is Holy Paladin. We have Sway and Zavara as Resto Druids. We have Ascarius and Veritan, warriors, DPS warriors. Asocha, Caribi, rogues. We have Cromrax or Scruffy, Windwalker monk. We have Thera and Rosanelle as our warlocks right now. Cinder Witch, Boxcar. There's another mage. Frostina. I'm sorry, Frostina. Almost forgot your name. There are mages. Myself, Shadow Priest. We have Majind on his alt hunter, Majindi, and Caprica, hunters. Shifts a bunch. It's y'all might know him as Pain or Boned in guild. He's a boomkin, resto bear, anything we ask him to be, he's there. Sklades, Tilton, and Rafisk, which Rafisk is Blue Moon. There are Rep Pallies. And we have Xenodin and Thulkandar are demon hunters. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody.
I
Even
haven't been
tanks,
keeping count, but you've laid
heals.
down an impressive list.
it's a lot of people, and I know a lot. Almost everyone on the team now has been with us for several months or for a few years now, and it's really amazing making friends on here and getting to know people, and I look forward to the runs, getting to hear how everyone's days have been, their weeks have been. Yeah, I really look forward to interacting, and I have a lot of fun playing with them. They're really awesome people. I wouldn't have the team any other way.
That is really tremendous, man. Like, and again, I just want to reiterate, you've been a great host, guest, and we've been super happy to have you in here. I would like to know now, how can we find you and your team on the internet?
Well, we have a page on the Convert to Raid website. I think I added something on there, recruiting like a death knight or something like that. But we're on there. Me in game, my main's name is Excorsistuno. I could also be on Little Exo or LILXO, or the third priest that I'm currently leveling up. That I've been spending some time on is Twipi. So I'm usually on one of those three priests.
Yeah. So, all right.
Yeah.
Wait 1 second. So this came up in the Discord text chat, and I forgot to ask you about it in person. I admire a man who knows which class he likes. What's the deal with the many of the priests? How come you got a pile of priests?
Well, it's just it's the whole philosophy of, would you like to be a jack of all trades or would you like to be a master of war? And it's like, I think it was a Bruce Lee quote. I might be misquoting it, but I fear the man who has practiced one punch 1,000 times versus the man who's practiced 1,000 punches once.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked a class, and I have stuck with it. If any priests on the team, I'm more than happy to help them out. That the other thing is, as I'm getting older, back when I was a teenager, I could be an officer. I could be, I in those days of the heroic, cutting edge kind of mindset. I had to know every spec of every class, every cooldown, everything. And as I got older, that's not fun to me anymore. So I don't have alts of every class and spec anymore. I just picked a priest. I fell in love with it back in Wrath, especially once dual spec came out and I was able to pick Shadow because I was forced to be holy for so long. I just fell in love with it. I really did. Over the years, I've tried having alts, but the priest just kept pulling me back and pulling me back. And I enjoy playing it so much. Whenever I make a new alt, it's like, all right, priest. I think there's somewhere between 12 and 15. I keep losing track, and not all, excuse me. Not all of them are max level, but
12
yeah,
to 15
there's,
different priests?
yes, between Greymane, Airy
By
Peak,
the light.
and another server I was on a bit, Uther. I haven't touched that server in a couple years though.
So you were saying you got your team page on the guild website. You've got your various tunes in game that people can find you. Is there anything else on that list that we need to know about?
I mean, just anybody. I know there's a few people that are the officers for the team, Caprica, Rafisk, or Blue Moon. They are or in Brewpig. They are, if y'all see them online, if you have a question about the team, I'm sure they're more than happy to answer any questions you have, especially if I'm not on. Because like I said earlier, between my job and my personal life, I'm not able to play the game as much as I used to. But it's definitely Thursday, Friday nights, and more often than not Wednesdays too. I pop on for a little bit. If you see me online, Excorsistuno, I'm. You can always ask me anything. I'll be more than happy to help you out, answer any questions anybody has.
Well, we're really excited you came on tonight, and hopefully we'll have you on, was it 5 years, 1 month, 1 day? Maybe sooner this time, though.
Yes.
Thank you so much for repping 9 to Midnight, one of our older raid teams.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, we are going to switch over to the Eshelon raid report now, but in the meantime, I want to hear from Turarts because
it's time for tea.
What? All right. Well, guild events that are happening. Guys, we are prepping up for the CTR 5-year or 6-year. It's actually 6-year anniversary now. And what that means is you need to be watching guild.converttoraid.com or converttoraid.com/guild. I think it still works too, because we are going to have things popping up there. For example, the raffle. That's how you find out how to sign up for the raffle. I think we're going to bring back the gift exchange this year. It's kind of a fun way to get to know a guildie. We're also looking at other events we can do just depending on how WoW things line up. I haven't quite looked that far yet into the WoW calendar, so I don't know. Maybe, a Black Temple run, or we'll kind of see what we have going on. But we are very excited to be doing year number 6 here with the CTR anniversary. And yeah, just watch that guild.converttoraid.com. If you have ideas for events or you have donations you want to give, hit me up. In game, I am Turarts. On Discord, I am Turarts. I cannot say my name right now. On Twitter, I am Turarts. Basically, I am the one and only Turarts, so you can find me and we can chat a little bit. Like I said, for prizes and stuff, we have all kinds of mounts and pets right now. I'm super excited to be able to do this for year 6. And yeah, I hit my 5-year anniversary of CTR since we were last on being an officer. So that was pretty exciting. That happened right before Thanksgiving. So I think we're waiting for Ash, but while we're waiting for Ash, yes, I am super excited for the 6-year anniversary.
6 years anniversary is going to be super dope. Can't wait.
It is.
It occurs to me a little bit here. I'm going to even make a note. It occurs to me that I haven't actually heard from Ash today. So
I haven't either.
Hmm.
So I'm going to say raid report. Raid teams raided. People progressed. Things happened. We'll give Ash a couple minutes. But I don't have anything up to even know, like, compared to 3 weeks ago, what would be progression. So
yeah, neither do I. Let me switch to this so that I can. Hey, T, you got giant eyeballs, and that's all the world can see at the moment.
That's fine.
Because I'm scrolling through some things and looking.
That is okay. So CTR Guild. Next, I'm going to talk about something here real quick that's kind of spur of the moment, spontaneous, but we'll do it. Next time is our show before Christmas, our show before the end of the holidays. So what I would love is if for your shout outs, you could shout out something this year that happened that you're super, proud of, excited about with CTR, something that you just look back and go, wow, this is such a great community. And then maybe shout out, like, what is your wow resolution? Because it's going to be our show before the end of the year. So pack us some shout outs on the Twitter about what your favorite memory was from 2018. I almost said 2016. I know what year it is, I promise. And what you're looking forward to in 2019 or what kind of resolution you have. I am going to say congrats. I know we got some ahead of the curves that shout out to Standard Dragon Protocol. You guys got ahead of the curve. And that is the only raid recruitment thing that I have. Do you know of any teams that progressed?
I know that chickens have done. Can I put both of us on screen? Well, at least I can do this. I know that chickens have done 2 heroic bosses, and we're working on a 3rd.
Nice.
Outside of that, I'm not really super sure exactly what the rest of the world has been up to.
Well, raid teams, if any of you are in here right now in the chat, you can let us know what's happening. Otherwise, I'm going to say congrats to all of you that progressed over the past 3 weeks. I think in 2 weeks' time, we will have a super duper awesome raid report for you all with lots of things happening and stuff like that. I know that I've seen things like congrats and stuff in the guild. I just can't think of any names off the top of my head. So I know you guys have been doing stuff. It's just I don't know where Esh finds the stuff that they do. I know where, but I just don't know how to tell from 3 weeks ago. All right.
He does it from the. He does do it from the progress list here. Let me see if I can find it. What's the CTR raid?
CTR raid progress.
Raidprogress.avspot.com. Okay, so it does list who has done what, but it doesn't update it. It doesn't update itself automatically, so I assume he actually sits down and looks at each team and updates it.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Okay.
Learning stuff about the show. Little behind the scenes action for you guys.
I will say it does not look like we have any Twitter shout outs, which is cool. It's been the holidays, and I will say this time of year, everyone's kind of hyped up doing their own thing, so that's fine. Chat room, if you want to throw shout outs to us, we'll talk about Barf. What are you excited about wrapping up this year with WoW?
With WoW, I would say probably I'm looking forward to the new content that's coming out. They announced a bunch of cool stuff at BlizzCon that I'm really, really looking forward to. They announced what I will say is I'm a little bit disappointed that the underwater zone that I was so excited for about 10 seconds when they were like, we're going to Nazjatar, and I was like, yes, finally another underwater zone. The sheer life for life.
I love
They were like,
sheer.
it raised up out of the ocean, and all these crabs and squids are walking around upset because it's on dry land. And I'll be like, I was upset that it's dry land too. I wanted sea things. Although, there might be hope. There might maybe be hope.
Ooh.
If you look carefully at the art, this is what Nazjatar looks like. There was a Naga, some Naga warrior, a proud, powerful fish fella, swimming through a waterfall. And it made me think of, for all of my friends out there who have played Breath of the Wild, notice my shirt. I got my Breath of the Wild shirt on today. I want to pimp my Zelda hood. You could get the Zora set that let you swim up the waterfalls. I want to be able to, in World of Warcraft, discover a waterfall and swim up it like a salmon. That's my goal. I want to be like the salmon of the light, you know? Like I want to be a swimming up waterfalls man. And if I can't have my underwater zone, I would at least like to do that. Also, the gnome one looks really cool, too. I don't usually get all stoked about gnomes, but that zone looks nice. I want to go to that zone.
I was going to say, the gnome, I'm not anti-gnome, but it did look pretty. But I was super excited for underwater as well, and then later found out that, no, they lifted it above water. And I was like, well, this isn't underwater anymore. This is silly. But yes, so we have some shout-outs coming in. Draven does say that Teldrassil Volunteer Fire Department got Mythic Talak and Mythic Mother, so congrats to you guys. Winchester, shout out to Sal, hoping she is having a nice trip and has a safe trip home for the next show. Bear Kitty, shout out to Barf's slippers. Your slippers.
Yeah, my slippers got some ink. That's nice. I
Awesome.
got my Christmas slippers on.
Ooh, let me see. Oh, make sure ugly sweater it up with me next time. We won't tell Sal, but I'll ugly sweater it up, and you ugly sweater it up. Those are pretty cool. I like the.
I don't have an ugly sweater. I have a T-shirt that looks like an ugly sweater. Is that acceptable?
Go with that. That is acceptable.
Very good.
That is acceptable. I will take it.
I'm there.
Demetrius, I would like to say Ohio State beat Michigan. Yes, they did. And a shout out to a fan of the losing team, J-Man. Exclamator, shout out to the selection committee keeping OSU out of the playoffs. A lot of football. See, guys, nerds like sports too. Spread the love. There's been a lot of hate about nerds and sports and stuff in my life. So spread the love. I think that's it for shout outs and chat room. I'll get another minute here. But I think we can close that chapter of raid reporting and team shout outs. Or chat room.
Sounds good to me. How's about you, T? You have anything fun to say before we walk on out of here?
Shout out to the CTR Guild. Every year when the anniversary comes up and I ask for donations, I panic a little bit thinking no one's going to donate. You all are awesome though, and every year you surprise me. So thank you for that. Shout out to the co-host of my other podcast. Right now, a lot of things going on in life. I've talked about it a little bit on Twitter, but podcasts are what kind of get me through right now. Give me something to look forward to. So shout out to Sal and Barf and Ash Cuddles. And then my other podcast with Bottle Spark, Dable, JT. Don't tell them I forgot their names for a second. They won't watch this, so it's fine. Winchester, also shout outs to George H.W. Bush. That was sad. There's been a lot of deaths for important figures. But Barf, what about you? It's been 3 weeks. I'm sure you have some shout outs.
Yeah, actually. I'd like to give a shout out to Kara, Habant, Intense, and Iggy, who are my Sunday night, Sunday Fun Day 5-man team thing that we like to run dungeons with and stuff. They're all members of the Rubber Chicken Coalition, and they're all super cool people, but we used to do this thing where every Sunday night we would sit down and bang out a couple of mythic 5-mans. We just started doing that back again, and man, it feels good to be home. Feels real good to be home, you know what I'm saying? And then in a conversation that we were having with that group, turns out it's possible that some pretty cool things might be in the works as far as new show content and new game content.
Ooh.
So I don't want to shout from the rooftops exactly what's going on, but it's not exactly a secret either. But it might be the case that we might be doing some group stuff pretty soon here, and I'm kind of really stoked about it. So
would this be on your stream or just like a different podcast?
So that's the thing, is I'm not actually 100% sure what it might look like yet. Without you know what, I don't want to be coy about it. Iggy offered to put together a Dungeons and Dragons campaign for us.
Oh, that's exciting.
There are several people who are interested. I don't know how large a campaign he wants to run. I don't know how long a campaign he wants to run. But if we can get all that stuff worked out, and if I can manage the logistics correctly, I would like to do at least on stream. At least. Anything else that comes of it would be butter on the bread, biscuits on the gravy.
That is exciting.
Gravy on the pie, whatever the terms are. I think it should be a lot of fun. It's one more creative project on top of a stack of things that I already have planned, including the officer's handbook, which I would like to thank all of the officers who I said something that I was going to do something about this to. And number one, a bunch of them offered to help me, which is beautiful. Number two, everyone's been super patient about it because it has taken me a long time to get it off the ground. But that's hopefully happening as well. So yeah, that's my shout out. Thank you to all of my friends for being cool and supportive and creative and things. I think that's probably going to wrap us up. Yeah?
I would agree.
Fantastic. That's going to be it for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank Navox and Geek Chic Lisa for our theme music. You can find us on Twitter at converted_CTR. Turarts is at Turarts. Sal is at summer_Sal. Tweet her and tell her not to electrocute herself with the electrical sockets that they have over in that country she's in. Esh is at Eshelon, and I am at a bonus level. T, when's the next episode?
Our next show is Monday, December 17th. And like I said, that will be our last show of the year. So make sure you tweet us your shout outs for what you loved this year and what you're looking forward to in 2019, and wear Christmas sweaters with us.
Looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. For Turarts.
Bye.
For Eshelon and Sal, catchphrase. And for myself, we'll see you next time, everybody.
You can follow the show on Twitter at converted_CTR. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Converted Podcast. And find us on our Twitch channel, Converted Podcast. And join us live every other Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
I think we did great considering I was not prepared for Esh not being here.
Yeah, that was a surprise. Definitely should have checked. That's my bad. I'm wondering, so one of two things is going to happen. Either the show is going to be posted as aired, which means it's going to be exactly 1 hour. Can you even believe it?
That's exciting.
Or we're going to cut swaths out of the show of us going, okay, while we dial up Esh, let's vamp for a minute. Like, but was that entertaining? Would you guys, to the audience, what is that production worthy? Do we just let the vamp live? I think maybe we do. I don't know. I'll let Sal figure it out.
We'll let Sal figure it. If Esh had been here, I think we definitely would have been an hour, because I'm sure we had a lot of progress in 3 weeks. But I was like, well, crap, I don't know. I know where to see the raid team's progress, but I don't know how to tell what they progress as.
So literally, if you go to, I just Googled CTR raid progress. And actually, let me go to, it might actually just work. If we go to this screen here, literally, I just went to ctrraidprogress.appspot.com, and here it is listed. Tatfa's, or rather, Taman's tool. I don't know how, is it Taman or Taman or Toman? I can never remember. But it literally lists all the teams in the guild, the average item levels, and what their progression has been with these colorful little boxes. The problem is it doesn't say what they did since last week. It doesn't say what they